This is probably the most midline view right here. So looking just at those discs, these all look pretty decent. These all look pretty normal. This one, this one, this one, and this one, they all look pretty normal to me. Even the last one, L5S1, looks pretty normal. This is the one in question here. This is L45. And to me, I can see, even at the midline view, that we've got a little bit of a disc bulge there.
So this is L5?
Each disc has 2 numbers to it.
Oh.
Okay, the discs are named after the bones that they're sandwiched between. So this bone is the L4 bone. This bone is the L5 bone. Therefore, the disc between the bones we call the L4/L5. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, but I thought you said the L5 looked okay.
So the L5S1 looks okay. So this is L5S1 because this bone here is the S1 and this is the L5. So they all look pretty good to me, really, except for this one. This is again the L45 bone. And it even just looking at it centrally, we can see there's a bit of a disc bulge there. But as I scroll just a little bit, yeah, so that shows it pretty good. This is probably the most central view, but if I scroll just a little bit to the left of my screen, you're going to notice that the narrowing is much more impressive. So I'm going to move over 1 frame to the left, right there, and now look how narrow that is. Up here, we've still got good space. But right here, it's pretty narrow.
So it
when I'm
looks
just
almost
left of
completely
center.
blocked off.
It's really narrow. Yeah, it's really narrow. So that's a good shot of it there. This is now more to the right. Now I've scrolled over to the right, and it's still narrow to the right, but not as bad as it was to the left. Probably the best view of it, honestly, is going to be, let me do this little split screen trick. We're on image 10, we'll keep it on 10 there. Okay, so same picture right here to the right of the screen, but now I'm going to bring down this other view called Axial T2 and bring it over here. So what we're looking at over here is we're just looking down from above and looking at cross sections, little slices going from above. So it's like you're looking at it like this. Okay.
From the head down?
Yeah. Okay. We're taking kind of slices going down this way rather than looking at it from the side like we are on this other shot. So this is from the side. This is like we're looking at it like this. Okay. Where we're at on this screen is where the yellow line is on this screen. Okay. So what I want to do is bring this yellow line right down here to that same disc and see what things look like from this perspective. Okay, so we'll do that now. Let me actually show you first what kind of normal looks like, okay? So this disc is normal. Everything looks normal and good up there. Right now, we're looking actually at a cross section of the bone because the line is through the bone still. So cross section of the bone looks normal. I'm going to bring that line down over the disc. Okay, now we're going right through the disc. So now this circle, it's not bone anymore. This is a cross section of that disc. It looks normal. It's got fluid inside in the middle still. You can still see that lighter color in the middle that lets us know that the fluid is still there. And these are the canals. So the nerves are back here. The spinal cord is down in here. And the big nerves that exit through each side, like you see on the model here, the canals are still nice and wide open. Okay, that space there is still nice and wide open, really on both sides. So that's kind of what normal looks like. Let me go down to that one that I said is the problem. Okay, we're just above the disc still, so this is the bone. The canals still look pretty nice and wide open, but now I'm going to move that down 1 and see how things change once I'm over the disc. Okay, we got a kind of a big black circle. A little bit of fluid in there still, but you can tell this disc has even lost some fluid because it's darker in color. But look what happened to the canal here. So I go up 1. This is kind of what the canal should look like. But once that we're over that disc and that disc bulges, that disc is bulging just like it said in the report. It's bulging really circumferentially, but even more so toward the left. See, that's not a completely symmetric circle. It's a little asymmetric, more of a left-sided circle.
Yeah.
So that disc is bulging down, and it's really just totally cut off that canal right there. That's why I said on the report, the radiologist is calling that mild stenosis. To me, that looks really, actually fairly severe. Okay, so it's the L4 nerve root that passes through that canal that I think really undoubtedly is getting pinched right there because of all that narrowing. Okay,
Well, that
Yeah.
so
explains a lot.